Those Kangaskhan catch rates are fucked up. They're fucked up.
You who was struggling with that back, and somebody was having a really hard time.
Me and lots of people.
Yeah.
Shit's fucked, dude. You just gotta get super fucking lucky. Dude.
Yeah.
I was trying to get it in the 3DS version because I was going to complete the Pokedex and then I was just like, fuck this, man. I did it for like 6 hours, man. I caught a Kangaskhan when I was a kid, but I couldn't do it. I don't have time for that shit. Well, welcome back to the JoyCircuit podcast. Today I'm joined by Alex, and he's renowned for what was that thing with the Feebas?
Oh, just Feebas Gen 3.
My name is Jeremy Hoagland, and I have a level 100 Blastoise. It's pretty cool. This is our episode on Pokemon Red and Blue. It's sort of a retrospective look. One of our favorite games of all time.
Yep.
So it was developed by Game Freak, published by Nintendo. It was originally released on February 27th, 1996 in Japan as Pocket Monsters Red and Pocket Monsters Green on the Nintendo Game Boy. So later that year, sorry folks, I should note here that my vision is deteriorating, and although this this text is zoomed in, I'm still struggling a little bit, Alex.
Let's keep zooming.
One more level. Zoom in one more level. Okay. Now you got to just scroll. Okay.
We
boom.
good there, buddy?
All right, we're good.
All right.
So Pocket Monsters Blue was released later that year exclusively to subscribers of Korokoro Comic.
Ooh, seriously?
Yes. So actually Pokemon Blue, about not even a full year after the original one released.
So you couldn't buy this in a retail store?
It didn't go retail until 1999 in Japan.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was actually the basis for what we got North America as Pokemon Red. So Pokemon Red and Pokemon Red version and Pokemon Blue version were originally released to North American shores on September 28th, 1998. It took the graphics, script, and game engine from Pokemon Blue, the Japanese version, and so it was essentially built off of that game. So in Red, you got the Ekans line, you got Oddish, the Oddish line, you got the Mankey line, Growlithe, Scyther, Electabuzz, and in Blue, you got Sandshrew, the Sandshrew line, Vulpix line, Meowth line, Bellsprout line, and then Magmar and Pinsir.
Objectively speaking, which is the better lineup of exclusives?
That's a good question. Okay, so we both played. I wanted to ask you, you played Pokemon Red, right?
That was the first. I got mine in the fall.
Yeah.
Just after that, it released here. And I started with Red. I got Blue at Christmas, though, with my Game Boy Pocket.
Nice. So you played through both of them.
Yeah.
Objectively speaking, I gotta give it to Blue.
You think so? See, I'm a Red guy. I look at Red and I'm like, that's my team right there. That's my lineup.
So Ekans versus Sandshrew. For me, it's got to be Sandshrew.
I agree.
Oddish versus Bellsprout. For me, I gotta say maybe Bellsprout.
Oh, I'm an Oddish guy.
And
I just like the Oddish design. I feel like the Oddish design is like the grass Pokemon.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That could be an Oddish.
Yeah, right there, yeah. That's what I mean. Like, it looks like a plant, like a normal plant. I just like
it's a great design. And we're going to get into the designs because, they're fucking awesome. So, Mankey versus, I guess, who would be the... Meowth. I got to go Meowth.
You got to go with Meowth. And I think Meowth is more iconic. Meowth.
Yeah, he's definitely more iconic.
He's more iconic. Mankey is really... I do really like Mankey and Primeape, though. They are really cool Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean... Electabuzz versus Magmar.
They're even to me.
I think Electabuzz is slightly cooler.
Okay.
Magmar's kind of a goofy looking fucking weirdo.
But
I still like him though.
Yeah, I do too. Actually, I think the design of Magmortar has grown on me. The arm cannons.
Yeah.
Man, those are cool.
Magmortar is cool.
He's one of the only upgraded.
Yeah. He's cooler than like Electivire.
Fucking Rhyperior.
Yeah.
What a goddamn disgrace that is.
But he's so fucking strong.
Yeah, but Rhydon is just such a goddamn beautiful Pokemon. Why would you just ruin that damn line? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Growlithe, Vulpix.
Yeah.
Dead Even Tai. I love both of those lines a lot. They're actually some of my favorite Pokemon. Both of them are beautiful.
I gotta give it to Growlithe and Arcanine.
I think Growlithe would have a slight edge too.
Yeah.
And Scyther, Pinsir. Scyther by far. Not even close.
Oh yeah.
That's what actually puts that lineup over for me is the Scyther.
I think, I can agree with that because although Pinsir is cool, Scyther is definitely way more iconic and just like Scyther. Yeah, everyone loves that. Everyone knows that.
Scary looking. And I mean, Scizor is like probably one of the coolest Pokemon.
Yeah, Scissor's also dope. And
obviously that's not until Gen 2, but still.
Yeah. Kanto, dude, it's been in Red, Blue, Yellow, both remakes of Yellow. So that's 7 games. It's also in Gold and Silver and Crystal.
True.
10 games. And there's also remakes of those 2 games. So
Silver,
Kanto is in at least 12 Pokemon games, main series Pokemon games. This is definitely the iconic region.
Yeah.
In case you don't know Kanto or you're not familiar, I don't know why you're listening to this podcast if you're not, but if you're some sort of sicko or something, we're going to try to describe as best we can Kanto from our memories for you. So we're going to start from Pallet Town and we're going to work our way all the way up to the Elite Four.
Okay.
And we're going to try and go see if we can recreate this map for you via audio. Are you game, Alex? You think we can do this?
Let's do this. I don't know how this is going to be like.
Right. Okay, I'll start. We'll kind of take turns, okay?
Okay.
So we'll start. We'll go from... I don't want to... Yeah. We'll just see how it goes.
Okay. All right.
So we start off in Pallet Town.
Yeah.
Professor Oak, you meet him or whatever. You get your first Pokemon.
Yeah.
You battle your rival.
Okay. Before you move on.
Yeah, good question.
Who's your first Pokemon?
This little guy right here, Squirtle.
There he is.
Love him. I mentioned I have a level 100 Blastoise. That was pretty much my team the first time I played.
Just your Blastoise.
Blastoise and a Raichu.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, the way the game mechanics work, you don't really need much more than that.
No, you don't.
The way the EVs and stuff work in this game, but okay. Alex, what was yours? I know what it is, but tell the audience.
So my first was Charmander.
Oh, really? I thought it was Bulbasaur.
Yeah, so my very first Pokemon was a Charmander, but that was the game that me, Brandon, and Dylan played together.
Okay.
So I love both Charmander and Bulbasaur. I'm not really sure who I picked after that. Well, because I think I restarted Red at one point, and I played through Blue, and I'm not sure who theoretically I'm gonna say my first was Charmander, but then when I played Blue it was Bulbasaur.
Okay.
Because I love them both.
Bulbasaur's been canon in my head, and I also need to know
makes sense
canon for you, and I need to know what you have against Squirtle.
He was always like the cool Pokemon, and that really just wasn't my jam,
So what, you like the fucking stupid Pokemon?
No, like Bulbasaur is like this cool, chill. I take their personalities from the anime, essentially. So Bulbasaur is like this very protective, loyal, very calm, like intelligent, more timid.
He seems the most like Alex, like Alex Pokemon,
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
just like wise and fucking. I don't know.
I love Bulbasaur. In canon, I'm sure he would be my starter.
Okay.
If we actually were in Kanto,
yeah,
and got these starters, it would have been Bulbasaur.
Okay, so we're going along this journey. We're starting off our journey. I got Squirtle, you got Bulbasaur or Charmander, depending on which timeline.
Realistically, me and Brandon would have got them at the same time, and Brandon would have got a Charmander, and then you would have opened it. It would have been a goddamn shiny Charmander, and I would have been like, "Fuck!"
But they didn't have shinies though.
Yeah, they didn't at that point. True.
Okay, so you would have been fine there. So we go, and okay, we have to go. You can get the map from
what's her name?
Blue's sister or whatever.
What is her name? I don't even know.
She's got some fucking name.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Sister.
And then you set up on your journey. I think Oak sends you to Viridian City, right?
Yeah.
So where do we go from here? We go up.
We go up.
Through
Route 1.
Route 1. Now, what can you encounter in Route 1, Alex?
Pidgey and Rattata.
After Route 1, you get to Viridian City. You got to go to the Pokemart and get something for Professor Oak.
Mysterious package or something.
Mysterious package. You bring that back down to him, and then when you bring it back to him, he gives you your Pokedex finally, I believe. And then you set off on your journey proper.
What else happens there?
You battle your rival for the first time? Yes, exactly. I feel like it's kind of
could go either way.
That might be the hardest battle in the game.
Yeah, if you don't have your potion. Do you have one potion? Do you start off with one? You can get it from your PC.
You can get one from your PC.
Yeah. If you don't have that, which you probably didn't first time around,
then it's really up to the speed. Whoever has higher speed.
Yeah.
Probably.
Ooh.
Shit. Plus, your rival has a type advantage, but I don't think they really have a strong.
It's level 7. I think.
Yeah. So that's probably one of the harder battles in the game. Like seriously.
True. Yeah.
Like just in terms of like
RNG.
You have a highest chance of losing it.
Yeah.
So then we're on a journey, and we go back up Route 1, and you can battle like Trainer Joey and shit. So then you're in Viridian. You go in Viridian. Now you notice you can go left or up. Okay. In Viridian.
Yeah.
So you can go left to Viridian. That's end game shit.
You go left though.
You go left though, because over there there's a Sparrow and there's a Nidoran.
Yeah.
And I think those are the main ones. There might be I might be thinking of yellow, but I think in yellow there's like a Mankey.
In yellow there's a Mankey, not in red and blue. Though.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And if you go over far enough, you'll get to the Victory Road, right? No, not Victory Road. The entrance.
It's the entrance to like the
Pokemon
Victory,
League,
essentially.
And a guy there will tell you like you need more badges to enter. So you can't go any further there. You notice there's a gym. Now you've heard about gyms at this point, but you go up to it and you notice it's closed. So you can't go in.
It's interesting
it's
what they do there.
Yeah,
in City.
It's cool. Viridian really sets up. It's like the beginning and the end.
Yeah,
you see where you're going. It really gives you. Yeah, it gives you something to work towards.
It's really cool.
It's fucking cool.
Like, and here's the thing: you can't get in here though. You got to go explore the world first. But here's where you know if you do well enough, this is where you end up. So
you can't go into that gym. So you keep going up. There's only one direction you can go that's new, and that's up.
Yeah.
And if you keep going up, you'll get to Viridian Forest.
Yeah.
Feels like the first dungeon of the game.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You're right.
Pikachu's the real gem in Viridian Forest for me.
You know what? If you're playing with a Squirtle, you may want that just for Misty, I guess. Really. And
then you get to Pewter City. So this is your first real city. Like Viridian's there, but there's a lot of stuff that you can't access. Pewter's the first one that feels like, a proper city, and you know who's there. Who's there? Who do we meet?
It's our boy Brock.
Our boy Brock, the man who he can't see. I don't think
the myth, the legend.
Yeah, ladies' man, amazing cook, amazing Pokemon breeder. Yeah. That's Brock.
Oh man, what a guy.
And depending on your starter, you're gonna have a really fucking hard time,
dude.
Or a really easy time.
If you pick Charmander,
it's tough.
It's interesting though. I don't know what the hell I did as a kid though. I wish I could see what I did to beat that with Charmander at the time.
Yeah, I had Squirtle, so I imagine it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad for me. So then really you only have one way to go. It's to the right of Pewter City. And so when we follow this Route 3, which we think is Route 3, you get to, there's a Pokemon Center at the end, and then there's a cave you go inside. And this is Mount Moon. And this is the first area that you encounter Team Rocket. After you get out of Mount Moon, you're on to, I guess we're going to say Route 4. Route 4, if you go over the ledge, you can't go back.
Yes.
At this point.
Yeah. On
your way to Cerulean City, you see the Cerulean Cave. Now, I know you love Misty.
Yeah, I do.
Just describe to me Cerulean City a little bit, Alex.
There's water, some nice houses. It has a nice design.
And I always think of Cerulean, I think of that house in the top right that got broken into.
Yeah, Team Rocket.
There's another gym leader here, Misty, obviously.
Yeah.
And you have to go across Nugget Bridge. So I think it's like you got to beat 5 trainers in a row, and then you get the last guy, and he reveals himself to be Team Rocket dude.
Yeah.
You beat him, you get a nugget. So to the left, if you go over and down, and if you had surf, you could go down to Cerulean Cave. Yeah. Can't do that yet, so you go right. When you get to Bill's house,
he somehow got spliced with a Nidorino or something. He combined bodies or something messed up.
Showed it to Bill, and so then this route between Vermilion and Cerulean, there's Abra there. I think there's a Vulpix. And I think there's I think you can get Pidgeotos.
Okay.
You get Pidgeotos at this point.
Cool.
You will get blocked off because the guard's thirsty. And for some reason, his thirst stops you from progressing.
He can't do his job.
So he can't. He's too fucking thirsty.
He's very thirsty.
Which is fucking really funny. And so instead you have to go through this underground path, this sort of dingy fucking pathway. It seems like you're gonna go down there, you're gonna get mugged.
Yeah.
And the girl even says at the end, people are known for dropping shit down there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's going on? There's some shady shit going on the underground path. I don't know. You get to Vermilion City.
Yeah.
Now here you'll notice there's another gym which you can't get to yet because there's a fucking small bush in the way.
Yep.
And you know what? That would be too much effort to go over it or try to hop the fence. I don't know. There seems to be people in this gym. The HM situation is all fucked up. So what you have to do is you have to go south, which is where the SSN is docked.
SSN gives me anxiety to this day.
Because you think you're going to miss something.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's another, that's probably the only thing you can't go back to in the game.
That's why I never let it leave. You make sure you don't heal your Pokemon up when you're near the end. You go up to the captain. Yeah. You give him his stuff to make him feel better. He gives you cut.
You rub his back.
Yeah. You rub his back. You come back out. Your rival comes up and starts a fight. You die at the rival fight, sends you back to the Pokemon Center. SSN stays.
Oh.
Never goes away. That's how you see the truck. That's how you see the Mew truck.
Dude, I never did that.
What?
I know about the truck, and I remember, I think the last time I played Pokemon, I was like, where's the truck? I thought there's a truck here.
Dude, I never let SSN leave. It's there in all my files.
See, I wouldn't want to lose that smug bastard Blue, though. It wouldn't be worth it to me. So you get that. So really what you want to rub the captain's back so he gives you cut, which gives you the ability to go get your third badge for one thing, but it also gives you the point to go back to some of the earlier places that have been cut off. Where do we go from here?
Okay, so at this point you have cut. So you should be going to fight Lieutenant Surge.
Yes.
At this point, as you said, you can go back to Viridian or Pewter or whatever. Mm-hmm. But what you want to do is get to Celadon.
Really?
You cannot go to Celadon because the guards.
Yes.
So what you do is you go back to Cerulean.
Yes.
You cut the bush to the right.
And then you go to the right of Cerulean.
Then you go to the right
okay.
Because you would get Flash to go through the tunnel.
But you don't necessarily, you don't need Flash to get through it.
I memorized Rock Tunnel.
It's funny too. Yeah, I know. I think everyone did that.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Flash sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. You don't want to waste a slot.
Dude, it's so shitty.
It's so shitty. It's such a bad
Jesus.
HM.
We can get into HMs later. See, this episode's already probably gonna be fucking super long because I thought it'd be cool to describe Kanto for everyone. But I think I'm having a fucking good time doing it.
You know what? If anything else, Joe's gonna listen to this. He's gonna be like, you know, I missed out on this. I get to feel what Pokemon was like. I get to hear this.
I'm just having a lot of fun going through this world.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
If you had surf, you could surf south, and if you followed that water path, it would take you to the power plant.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We might forget that later. So you can go to the power plant because you don't really need to go to the power plant either.
No.
So what you want to do is go through Rock Cave or what's it called?
Is it Rock Tunnel?
Rock Tunnel. Yeah. Rock Tunnel. I know there's a Cubone in there. It's a dark cave. You need Flash. You want to have Flash to go through it so you can see where you're going.
Yeah.
But really, if you're just stubborn, I guess you can just fucking feel your way through there.
You can see the outlines of the walls.
That's true. You can kind of see it. Yeah. But it was hard on that old fucking Game Boy.
It was hard.
If you go south of Rock Tunnel, you'll find yourself in Lavender Town.
Yeah.
Now I gotta show it to Lavender Town music. I know you love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's creepy.
It's a cool town.
And it's just really interesting. Lavender is one of the best settings, I think, in this game.
You heard the rumors about it, right?
Yeah, but I don't really know the details. What is it?
That it was like the original version of that track had something in the music that made people go crazy, and that someone like committed suicide or something from listening to that made people kill themselves. Something like that.
I like it.
It wasn't real. It was just like a meme thing, but it's...
Don't put ideas in my head, Alex.
But that's where a lot of the Pokemon in that region go to die and lay to rest.
Yeah, and one of the saddest storylines with the Cubone who's looking for his mom.
Yeah.
Who's dead.
Yeah, it's messed up.
His mom is a ghost.
Yeah.
And you need to get the Sylph scope, right?
Yeah.
So you can see the ghost. And then Cubone gets to see his mother or
There's
whatever.
a long going back and forth there with that stuff.
And I know if you go west, I remember there being Growlithe, but there wasn't Growlithe because I played Red. So I think it must have been Vulpix.
Yeah, you cut that little...
Yeah, there's a little patch. Yeah. And then if you get to another one of these thirsty guards. And not like thirsty, like horny. Like these men are just...
Yeah, they're just parched.
They're thirsty.
Yeah.
They need some fucking water. And so what do you have to... You have to get like lemonade or something, right?
Yeah.
Which you can buy from vending machines. Is that really what you have to give to them? Holy shit. Yeah, because it goes lavender, saffron, celadon, and then bike path. And at the bottom is fuchsia.
My brain was thinking Celadon was in the middle. You're right. It's cerulean, saffron, lavender, vermilion, Celadon. So you're right. It goes from lavender path over to Celadon.
It's something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you get the lemonades there at the market.
At the market, yes. And you can fight Erica.
Yep.
I really like Erica. I don't know. There's I always think of the old man who's just peeking in on the... Because it's an all-girl gym. Yeah. There's just a creepy old man.
Erica's cool.
You get Eevee in the... like the game developers place. Yeah. They give you it, right?
Yeah, well, it's in that... I think it's in that same building, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to go up to the very top or whatever.
And you go in the back. Yeah. It's kind of like a secret, yeah.
Exactly. But you do beat the Team Rocket hideout there.
Yeah.
Then you either go back to Lavender Town and...
Because, they don't take over Saffron until after you do that.
Yeah. Well, I think... God, what is it? Maybe it's that. Maybe it's... I don't even know.
Because I do think you do get the Sylph Scope at a game corner, because then you can go back to Lavender, do that. Because I do remember doing Lavender before like Sabrina and shit. So you can go to Saffron if you want. even at this point, you could go to the left and you could go down the bike path.
Yeah, once you hit the Poke Flute, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's 2 Snorlaxes.
Exactly.
One. But you could go to the bottom of the path pretty much. Oh, no, he's at
the beginning, right by where you get fly.
Yeah.
But Saffron's a big story.
It's the biggest city in the game.
Yeah, it's a big city. 2 gyms.
Yeah. An official gym and an unofficial one, essentially.
It's like isn't there like gym on it?
Yeah.
It's like double gym. Yeah,
there's just a gym and then there's the Saffron gym right next to it. And the cool thing about the dojo is that at the end of it, you get to choose between Hitmonchan or Hitmonlee.
Yeah.
Which is fucking dope.
Yeah, it is.
Now Hitmonchan is just so much better than Hitmonlee. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he's one of the best Pokemon in the game. So yeah, in Saffron, there's the dojo, Sabrina, and then there's the main thing, which is the Team Rocket have taken over.
Which is a big story moment for this game, I think.
And it's a huge dungeon too. Like that's like a probably 2-3 hour, thing if you want to face all the trains, which I always do.
Because the Celadon one was a decent sized dungeon, and you really dig into like the puzzles, like the moving tiles and stuff.
Yeah, the moving tiles,
right? That just shoot you around and stuff. But then this one is where they have all these different teleporters.
Yes.
It's hefty.
Yeah.
And don't you fight Giovanni here?
You fight Giovanni for the first time.
Yeah.
So you're kind of getting into like mid to late, you're getting into like late game almost at this point. After Silphco, I feel like you're sort of propelling towards the Pokemon League at this point.
Yeah.
So really all you need to do at this point is probably get to Fuchsia one way or the other. So you can kind of go west or east and then south, and eventually all roads lead to Fuchsia essentially. And Fuchsia, there is the Safari Zone, which love it or hate it, it's interesting. It's an interesting area. Those Kangaskhan catch rates are fucked up. They're fucked up.
You who was struggling with that back, and somebody was having a really hard time.
Me and lots of people.
Yeah,
shit's fucked, dude. You just gotta get super fucking lucky. Dude.
Yeah.
I was trying to get it in the 3DS version because I was gonna complete the Pokedex, and then I was just like, fuck this, man. I did it for like 6 hours, man. I caught a Kangaskhan when I was a kid, but I couldn't do it. I don't have time for that shit. So Safari Zone, and you can also battle Koga here.
Yep.
Fucking badass poison gym leader.
It's cool. Ninja,
yeah. And really at this point, you don't have too much more to explore of Kanto. You get Surf, I think, in Fuchsia.
Okay, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
After Fuchsia, the next place is Cinnabar. How do you get to Cinnabar?
I go south.
You go Seafoam.
I go Seafoam, and then you can get Articuno. Yeah, at that point, you don't have to do you don't need anything. You need strength, which you should have at that point. You need strength to get Articuno because you have to push the rocks down, and they change the flow of the thing, and you can get to Articuno that way.
And Articuno is one of the 3
legendary birds.
Yeah.
Quick aside, favorite legendary bird up from the original game.
Probably Articuno.
I gotta give it to Moltres. I don't know why. That weird chicken, he's not even cool. I just know as a kid, I would say Moltres just because no one liked Moltres.
Everyone loves that.
So I was like, yeah, Moltres. But really, Moltres is the dumbest fucking looking one. He looks like a rubber chicken with fire, basically.
Yeah. Everyone loves Zapdos. Nobody even liked Articuno. It was all Zapdos. Zapdos.
Yeah. I think Zapdos is makes sense. It appeals to young boys. Yeah. But I think Articuno is probably the classiest looking.
Sharp and edgy bird.
Either way, you get to Cinnabar Island.
Which is one of the cooler
gyms. So this is kind of this isn't the final gym, but this is the last gym that you haven't already been to.
Yeah.
So this is the last one that you'll discover. And he's a fire gym leader.
Sure
Blaine.
Is. Yeah.
Some sort of scientist dude.
Yeah.
Battle him. There's also the mansion. There's a burnt out mansion there where you can get coughing. And
Ditto.
Some fire Pokemon Ditto. And there's Mewtwo stuff. There's Mewtwo lore.
I want to pause it here for a moment.
Yeah.
A lot of speculation.
Mm-hmm.
Ditto is a failed clone, right? So there's a theory
a cool theory.
Ditto are failed clones of Mew, whereas Mewtwo was the only successful clone.
Yes.
So the Dittos, the reason being is Ditto and Mew look very similar, and they're the only 2 Pokemon who learn Transform naturally.
Yeah. It makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense because there's a lot of documentation in the mansion about failed clones.
And there's Ditto's run around.
It's the only that and that Cerulean Cave.
Yes.
Where Mewtwo is
Mewtwo
are
lives.
the only 2 places with Dittos.
It's 100% is that.
Yeah.
It has to be. It's weird that it's like doesn't seem like there's. It seems that has to be a theory. It's weird. It seems like it's so obvious.
I know.
But that's super cool. And there's a lot of cool things like that in this game. But that is really you do to get some lore nuggets. Like I know there's like 3 or 4 different pages that you find that just have like scribblings of their experiments, and you've eventually tells the story that there was some sort of experiment that went wrong and Mewtwo escaped.
I don't know if it's canon or not, but I thought Mr. Fuji was involved in this too.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe that's something from later on or from another piece.
Or maybe that's from the anime or something.
Or even the manga. I read.
Was he like ex-Rocket or something?
He was working for Rocket, but in the manga though, like it's like 5 of the 8 gym leaders are Team Rocket. So gonna highlight this here, and we can talk about this briefly.
Yeah.
Missing no glitch. Did you know about this when you were a kid?
Yeah.
At what point?
After I had beaten like the Pokemon League.
Okay.
Was when it started to come out, because I know there was kids getting 99 rare candies and shit, and you know, a lot of people were getting level 100s that way.
See,
and a lot of people were completing the Pokedex through this, and I'm sure my complete Pokedex was tainted in some way by this missing number.
Me, Brandon, Dylan all had our Pokedex completed by the time we figured this out.
So really at this point, we've sort of gone all over Kanto. There's really just a few things left to do. We really got to go back to Viridian, get our 8th badge. And when you get there, you realize who is the gym leader? It's Giovanni, the leader of Team Rocket. So he's kind of living this double life as a gym leader. And it kind of seems like he sort of hangs up his boots after this.
Yeah.
And then you have your 8 badges. You can finally go to the Pokemon League.
Yeah. So
you can go back to the, to the left of Viridian City, and you can finally go through, this procession. Like there's 8 different gates essentially you have to go through. You need all 8 badges. It's very actually kind of long and drawn out when you have to go through it at the end.
They check all
it's like and it's like it's kind of a drawn out thing. But there's some Pokemon in this area too. I think there's a Ditto, and there's like a couple like higher level Pokemon that you can catch in this route leading up to Victory Road, which is kind of
the big leagues at this point though. They're all like fully evolved Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a bunch of ace trainers and stuff like that, like high level trainers, guys that might actually give you a little bit of trouble at this point. You can catch Moltres in this cave.
Yeah.
But after you finally make it through Victory Road, you get to the Pokemon League finally. So you're at the end, you're at your destination, and you go there. There's like, the best Pokemon in the game is there. You can get all the best, like the full restores and shit like that. And there's a Pokemon Center there, and then basically if you go through the door in the north, you're locked into those battles. You better hope you save before that.
Bruno is fighting. Then it's Lorelei, Agatha with Ghost,
and then Lance Dragon. And then once you finally beat the Elite Four, you think you're good, but no, that little fucker Blue got there before you. Fucking Grandpa's boy.
Yeah,
he's there. And he's the Pokemon champion. He beat them before you. He beat you to it. So at this point, you know what to expect from him. You've seen his sort of team grow throughout the whole game, which is cool. I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot, seeing his team develop. Once you become the Pokemon master, it's just post-game stuff at this point. And really all there is to do is catch every 151 Pokemon.
Catch them all.
Yeah, got to catch them all and go to Cerulean Cave and get that Mewtwo. Now, Mewtwo is kind of like the final boss. He's a Pokemon, but he's kind of like the final boss.
He's actually hard as hell if you're not ready for it. Like if you're trying to catch him and you're not using that Master Ball, he does some damage.
He's level 70, man.
Yeah.
And he's got Recover.
Yeah, pain in the ass.
Yeah, he's not easy to catch.
No.
And you really want to save your Master Ball for Mewtwo. But seriously, I don't know why I can't just do a normal fucking podcast. Like, we just described Kanto from our memories. But you know what? I liked it a fucking lot. Alex, your favorite Pokemon... Is it Psyduck or is it Pikachu?
Dude, I don't even know. I like them both.
These are like canon. These are like canon picks though. Safe pick. If you could say, hey, what Pokemon does Alex like? You could say Psyduck with confidence.
I would say my signature Pokemon would be Psyduck. He's a little bulbous duck. A little yellow duck. Kind of chubby.
And he's got a perpetual headache.
Yeah,
right?
He gets headaches all the time.
I always thought like, dude, that's horrible. That must suck being a Psyduck. Like you just got to evolve essentially, so you can get rid of that headache.
He's a water type, but he has like these psychic abilities due to his headaches that makes him like weirdly powerful and stuff. Then he evolves into Golduck,
who is an actual psychic, right?
No, he's pure water.
He's just water.
He's pure water, but he's this beautiful, slender, blue, kind of edgy looking duck.
He's cool, yeah.
He has a little gem on his head. He has psychic abilities despite being pure water.
Yeah,
and at the time, the fastest swimming Pokemon.
Okay, cool.
In Red and Blue.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Sweet.
Yeah, the fastest swimmer.
Yeah. Okay. Psyduck. Not really. He wouldn't be one of my picks.
No.
I tend to go for the cool Pokemon.
Yeah. You think Golduck is cool?
No, Golduck's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Psyduck is not cool, but he's a goof. But so for me, I just show it to the Squirtle line, dude.
Yeah.
I would say my favorite is actually Wartortle out of that line.
Really?
I think Wartortle is the coolest middle evolution of any Pokemon, probably. I love him.
Pikachu.
Yeah.
Just because of, well,
he's a mascot.
He's a mascot, and just like you, I think I used Raichu early on. I didn't use Pikachu, but I had a Raichu at level 100 in my original team and lineup. But yeah, Pikachu. And I played Smash Brothers, and he was my main in Smash.
And he was the only Pokemon in the first one, right?
No, Jigglypuff was
Jigglypuff too, yeah.
Yeah. But he was my main up until, well, I still played Pikachu. So he's been my main since 64.
I'll give a shout out to Pikachu as well because I got love for Pikachu. Obviously, love using him in Pokemon Yellow, but in Red and Blue or Blue, I would always evolve him to Raichu.
Yeah.
Pretty much as soon as possible because Pikachu after level 20 doesn't learn much.
I did too. I was
Raichu too. You can buy Thunderbolt, so you're pretty much good to evolve Raichu pretty quick.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with Raichu. Raichu's cool as hell.
I think Raichu is. Like I said, Blastoise and Raichu, those are my two Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think Blastoise was level 100 and Raichu was level 60, 70.
Yeah.
And that's really all I needed, man. And I love his design. He's he seems like he should be the middle evolution almost of Pikachu.
Because he was going to be.
Because he was, and Gorachu, dude, sick.
Yeah, really cool.
But yeah, Raichu's awesome. I love his slightly deeper yellow color and sort of brown cheeks. That nice big tail and those cool ears, man. I gotta go with Eevee next, I think. Eevee and its 3 evolutions.
Sure.
Eevee's cute. Obviously would go on to be, I feel like it's kind of the de facto second mascot now.
Now it is.
I feel like they were pushing Jigglypuff hard.
Yeah.
But Jigglypuff's too fucking dumb looking.
Yeah.
And they were really trying to go for those girl gamers or whatever.
Right.
Which wasn't needed because you had Pikachu already.
Yeah.
Who appeals to both. It appeals to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, fuck Jigglypuff. Yeah. So Eevee's awesome. The 3 evolutions was really cool because depending on what stone you use, you kind of choose which Pokemon you get.
For the longest time of the original 3, Jolteon was my favorite.
Okay, what comes to your mind next? Eevee evolution.
Bulbasaur. I love Bulbasaur. He's awesome. Apparently I look like him. little dinosaur frog with a bulb on his back.
Yep.
Turns into a slightly larger dinosaur with an opened and bloomed
I love
plant.
Ivysaur, man.
Ivysaur's cool as hell. Yeah. And Venusaur, just a big old froggy dinosaur with a big old blooming tree thing on its back.
Yeah. He's like a big fucking toad dinosaur guy.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah, I like him. I would say though, Bulbasaur and Ivysaur I like better than Venusaur.
Yeah.
Bulbasaur's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Partially due probably to the anime and just how cool Ash's Bulbasaur was.
And I'd say he has the coolest moveset of the 3.
But yeah, love him. Cool.
He's dope.
Cool as hell.
I like him too. I've never not chosen Squirtle.
Really?
Yeah. I think the next game I'll have to choose someone other than Squirtle.
No, man, you should just keep going.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna shout out to Butterfree, man.
Okay.
He's the first full evolution that you're most likely to get.
Yeah.
And I think he's really good early game.
And I would have to do Charmander as well.
Yeah.
Because Charmander was my first. He's awesome. Brandon loves him with his whole heart and soul.
Yeah.
He has it tattooed on his body.
Yeah, he does.
Charmander is just a really cool Pokemon. Like the other 2 starters, I feel like these are the most iconic starters. Charmander being probably the most popular. He's a cool little dinosaur, turns into an even cooler looking dinosaur guy who turns into a gigantic dragon.
I'd say Charizard probably objectively is probably the coolest final form.
Yeah, I agree.
But I love Blastoise more.
I love both.
And I think Blastoise is actually really
lines.
Blastoise is actually really fucking cool too, especially if you look at his artwork. Not so much his in-game sprite. You got to picture that Ken Sugimori. OG artwork. I love it, dude. The kind of watercolor vibe to it, and just that very simplistic but cool anime design.
The fact that doesn't happen anymore is actually a loss to Pokemon. I think those designs and that art early on was really something special. I
think we probably talked about a lot of the Pokemon at this point.
Those are probably my
those are definitely my favorites. Really like Pidgeot.
Did you talk about Meowth?
Yeah, I like Meowth.
He was one of your favorites for a long time.
Yeah, Meowth really used to be one of my favorites, but he's kind of faded. Yeah. I really like Persian still.
Yeah. Last shout out though, Dragonite. What a cool Pokemon.
Yes, yes, Dragonite.
They're the only dragon type.
Chubby dinosaur. Yeah, there's the only dragon in the game.
Isn't that cool though?
It is cool. Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah,
it is
Dragonite's
cool.
awesome.
And like the other dragons, like there was Pokemon that were like considered dragons. Like you'd see like Lance had a Gyarados and
Shouts to Gyarados too.
Yeah,
Gyarados is cool shit.
There's, I mean, we're gonna get fucking.
We're gonna go too long with this.
No, it's not that. It's just like there's some. They're all really good. That's the thing about the original 151. Like they're very memorable, and like honestly, maybe it's that specific time that we experienced this game. We're just the Gen 1ers, dude. Like, we're always going to think that is the cream of the crop, at least definitely in terms of the Pokemon and the world.
To this day, I think the Pokemon designs in the first game and the second game, specifically those two games, really like the designs are purposeful. The designs in Kanto are clear, like they are of that world. Like they are Pokemon who have in Kanto changed and been manipulated by humans, and their designs show that. A lot of these aren't natural. They're, I don't know, man. The designs in that game are just fantastic.
Yeah, they're and there's such a good variety too, man. Like even think of like Pokemon like Magnemite.
And again, I feel like the distinction between the two gens, where Gen 2 is like so natural and Gen 1 is so, as you're saying, like these objects, these Pokemon that like Voltorb that looks like a Pokeball.
Yeah.
Grimer and Muck that are like garbage gunk crap.
Yeah.
Like they're like clearly.
Yeah, like Grimer exists because of something humans did.
Yeah.
Like they're fucking sludge or whatever. Yeah.
These Pokemon just look like Blastoise. He's a turtle with cannons on his back. Why does he have cannons on his back?
That's true.
Where did they come from?
Yeah.
And it just looks like these Pokemon were like adjusted or changed by humans. It looks like all these Pokemon, even though they're not theoretical, like in terms of lore, it looks like they were created and designed and changed, tinkered with by humans. And
that's the thing about Kanto. Like I keep saying in this episode, but like it's that it all feeds into this region of Kanto. Like everything is purposeful. I think of Gen 3. I think of the Pokemon that generation,
and I don't get
and the game, and it's like it just feels like it doesn't fit in a way. It's still great games, but there's another level of connectedness that is only present in the first two gens for me. In a lot of
I agree, 1 and 2, and then I think they try. I think Gen 3 was like we don't know what we're doing with Pokemon right now, and afterwards we're going off topic here, but I feel like later on they tried to get back to that somehow. They were like, okay, like Gen 6 is gonna be like fashion based, where a lot of the Pokemon are gonna have little like kind of art nods to art, like fashion in their design. Gen 5 is like the Pokemon are trying to almost copy and replicate human culture. Like it's not that humans are affecting them, it's that they're actually taking it on and trying to like meld into the culture. Like I feel like they tried to do this later on, but it never worked as well as it did in 1 and 2. Jinx is weird.
Also slightly racist. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Mr. Mime is creepy too.
Oh yeah, Mr. Mime.
I feel like the creepiness of Mr. Mime just came up in recent years. I feel like back then it was just like, oh, he's a weird Pokemon. Now he's just a creep.
What's your favorite gym leader? Just out of all of them. I know I did a poll in the group chat a little while ago.
I'd say Misty. Erica is close though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say probably Misty.
Yeah, and I think I finally did come down on Giovanni as the coolest.
He is really cool.
And you made a good point. He's the most powerful, and he's a mover and shaker in that fucking world. You know? So
he's definitely objectively he's probably the coolest. He has the most story relevance.
And that's another thing about this game. All the gym leaders are sick.
Yeah, they are.
They're all memorable.
They're all really cool.
And it's like every generation, it's just like you remember less of the gym leaders, you remember less of the towns.
I don't remember. Yeah,
even Gen 2, like I can't remember all the gym leaders from that.
Oh, I can.
I can if I really think about it, but like I wouldn't remember their names necessarily.
Like Faulkner.
Faulkner's the first one that comes to mind.
Bugsy?
Bugsy. There's, anyways, that's another episode.
Girl.
Miltank Girl, yeah. And Goldenrod. Anyways, we'll probably do another episode where we'll describe Johto from our memories, and we just won't remember any of it.
There's a lot of trees.
There's a tower. There's like 2 towers.
Yeah, one's burned down.
Yeah.
Something happened.
There's dogs in the bottom. Let's talk about the battle system.
Sure.
This was Pokemon in its infancy, so it laid the groundwork for everything. Like it's all kind of here in some form.
6 Pokemon with 4 moves each, right? So it's essentially your next attack, you have what, 20 24 options essentially.
Yeah, you could have up to 24 different
items.
moves. Yeah,
and I think that it's so simple, right? Like it's simple, but as you're saying, it's like kind of like a chess type thing, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like these are your options. What do you want to do? It's not overly complicated. There's often a right play.
Yeah,
and I don't like a lot of people will say that this is like much simpler than later games. I actually don't think it is. I think this is like the core of the system that is used till this day. Obviously doubles and stuff adds a new element, and
and like
megas.
I think more of the not so to I think of megas as more of like derivative.
Yeah,
honestly. Whereas I think the things that actually improved the gameplay, like the battle system, moving forward, were obviously like hold items and natures,
sure.
And the biggest thing was obviously the physical special split in Gen 4. I think. And that's why I think really Gen 4 and Gen 5 are kind of the peak of the combat, because I think everything after that is sort of just derivative. Anything they added,
I agree.
They didn't really need to.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel the people who say like it's too simple back then or it's too easy. I'd be like, what do you think the current games are? Like it's the same thing to me. Like obviously at the competitive level, world champions, like these guys have a different understanding of the games. And when you even get on Smogon and you're like looking at the top guys where they're memorizing damage percentages for moves against this other Pokemon with certain EVs. Yeah, of course. That's super intense level shit. But for the most casual gamers, I think this is like as complicated as it was then, and that's great. I think that the battle hasn't changed that much, and I think it's just as good then as it is now.
They didn't really need to change that much. That's kind of the thing.
It's beautiful. It's so simple. It's easy. It's fun.
You can battle your friends. You could link up with your friends and you could have a 6-on-6 battle against your friends. And it was so fucking cool. Actually having the physical link cable and like trading in the animation,
so cool.
It was so awesome, dude.
It was so awesome.
And I remember being in like grade 5, like grade 4 or 5. Like I remember like I think it was like after Christmas and like everyone was trading Pokemon because everyone had at that point. Like if you didn't have it already, you got it at Christmas.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like on recess and like lunchtime, like in the classroom, like just trading and shit, trading to get that 151, man. Everyone in school was into it.
The thing I think about is the battle system, as I'm saying, is very similar. I think the thing that made Pokemon special wasn't even the battle system. It was outside of the battle system, as you were saying, with like the amount of Pokemon you had to make a team. So you had to choose 6 Pokemon to construct your team, give it 4 specific moves, and that is the toolbox you're giving yourself for every battle that you go against. I think that's, to this day, is the coolest thing about Pokemon. It's not necessarily the in combat like decision making and the moves. It's creating the team. It's playing your team, or just gathering 6 Pokemon that you love and putting them together.
If I had to pick one game that I could always go back to, if I was like having a bad day, just wanted to like escape, I would probably just play up to like Pewter City, dude.
Really?
Catch a Pikachu,
and
like do something like that, and my mood would like shift. Like I'd be in a better mood because it takes me back to like a very specific nostalgic time that like I'll never get back. Because I mean, I've said it before on the podcast, but really this was the game for me that opened me up to the wider world of video games.
Right.
Before this, like I liked video games and stuff, but I was never like, I never had beaten a game, I don't think.
Really?
Like I played a lot of games. I played games and shit, but it was never like, it wasn't my thing. My thing was like just drawing and fucking writing and like playing in the woods and shit, like what we all did.
Yeah.
But really a lot of my time was spent just in my own little world kind of thing. And Pokemon was the first kind of game. It was the first really RPG that I played.
Yeah.
And it just kind of opened me up to this, a type of game that I actually really liked. I felt like I was good at, because I felt like I wasn't really good at like platformers and stuff, the other games I'd experienced. So this really just kind of opened my eyes big time to games. And yeah, it was probably the first time I just remember being like really fucking into a game and just played it. I just played it nonstop until I beat it, and then I just kept playing it after that.
Yeah.
And I probably beat this game 2 or 3 times before Yellow came out a year later, and then I beat that game.
I would actually say that is probably true for like most of our other friends, like me, Bilo, and Nick as well. But we played like, again, Mario. Like we have been playing other games. Super Mario RPG, I think, had come out probably just before this.
Yeah, like I didn't know Super Mario RPG existed at this point in my life, right?
So because we had Dylan as well, who was a couple years older.
Exactly.
So we had all, and Dylan probably with this game too, we had all played games before. We were already into video games. But this was an obsession with us. And as you said, everybody was into this.
Yeah.
But our group, even back then, went really hard into this. And it can't be understated that to this day, this is something that our group, man, we were in high school, we were post high school. Every time a generation comes out,
it's kind of like a nice tradition, man.
Yeah,
I feel like we didn't do it with Sword and Shield though.
No, we didn't.
And I don't know if we did it with. I don't know if we really did it with Sun and Moon either, but we will definitely do that again.
But
that'll happen again.
For our group, it really cannot be understated how much an impact these games have had on our group.
Yeah, and we always kind of liked it. Like we never fully pushed it out of our lives. Most of us, you know.
No.
I think a lot of kids went through that phase where it's like, oh, it's not cool to like video games anymore. It's not cool like Pokemon specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know I even like sold a lot of my Pokemon cards and shit at that point because I even succumbed to a little bit of that, and I'm kind of like I'm saddened by that. But yeah, you're fucking kidding.
I remember you and Stuart both.
All that matters to you at that point is your social status, essentially, when you're in element or junior high and like high school, especially. But it's stupid, dude. It's so stupid. But like I never gave up on the games or anything.
No.
I think it was a big part of it was just me. I wanted to buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so I sold my Pokemon cards.
You got to do what you got to do.
Got to do what you got to do. Now, you just live with the regret forever.
Yeah, because all those cards are worth like 10 times what they were back then.
I know. But it's not about the money either, because like you'll never sell them, Alex.
I won't. That binder right now is probably the most valuable thing I own.
Yeah. Well, what about your comics?
It's worth more than my comics retail. Like I could sell that thing right now.
Yeah.
Instantly.
How much?
I have no idea. Thousands, probably.
They're not like first editions or anything. All of them.
Some of them are first. Like a good chunk. Like I have a lot of first editions. I have some first edition Shadowless.
It's good because you know if you ever fall in real hard times.
Yeah, I could never do it.
You won't be on the streets for a long time.
Me and my grandfather spent a good time going around collecting all those cards.
That's really cool, dude.
Yeah, memorable.
Yeah,
he supported it.
Yeah, that's awesome to have. Your grandfather always seemed cool. I was a little bit too late. I never really got to know him, but he's a legend nonetheless.
He's a legend.
I think we kind of touched on a lot of it. Really,
we did. It's just a very important game. I feel like in our lives.
Yeah. I don't know how important it is to the wider world of video games. Besides, just I think it probably popularized video games more than people give it credit for. I think the game was a phenomenon.
Yeah,
and I think it maybe doesn't get the respect it deserves in the wider industry. Like I think it's a really important game, not just for us.
Yeah.
But definitely 100% it's very important for us specifically.
Well, just think like
that's pretty amazing.
Not just the personal impact now, but even for the current generations, like the Pokemon Go experience that we had a couple years ago in that first launch.
Yeah.
Like that was a big thing. And that would never have happened without this game, right?
Yeah,
like
it's true. That was the second coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, we are Gen 1ers or whatever, but like there's something special about that original 151. Like, 100%. I don't care what anyone says, man. There's something special about it.
Yeah.
My favorite Pokemon isn't even from that generation. So,
Yeah.
But
you know what? Technically, it almost was, right? Because Gen 2 was supposed to be part of Gen 1.
Yeah.
They're the same.
They're connected.
They're the flip side of the coin, you know?
And we talked about that. I'm pretty sure we talked about that.
Yeah.
Sweet. Anything else you want to add? I think we're good.
No, I just love Pokemon. This was great.
I love Pokemon, man. Red and Blue. Top 5 games all time for me.
You know what? I love Pokemon.
I love it. I can't wait.
Tune in. Fair. I'm sure we'll have more Pokemon content in the future.
100%. Well, Alex, thank you for joining me. This is our first episode, just me and you.
Yeah, it was.
I like it.
Yeah.
All this time.